So from a lyricist perspective, what was the job in the sense of the normal things, character, story, plot, etc., but in terms of the language of ragtime, what did you see as the job?
Well, you know, the show is unusual in that it has three main stories. There's the story of an African-American man and the love of his life, the story of an upper-class white family, and an immigrant family. And so they each had such different diction and came from such different educational backgrounds and you know, had very little in common in terms of the way I was imagining that they would sound. So I felt that one of my challenges as a lyricist was to capture the way they spoke and the way they used language. And for example, the character of Sarah doesn't have any education. So she would say, you know, she would use the word ain't, or she would use bad grammar. And Mother was very educated, and Tata didn't speak English well. So, you know, I had to come up with phrases that were understandable, but that somehow indicated his dialect.
Was one more difficult than another? Like, did you find, or did you connect more with one character than another initially?
You know, I have to say I sort of fell madly in love with all of them. I guess I could say in a certain way that I understood Mother the best because, you know, she had the most to do, I suppose, with me and with a woman finding her power in a man's world sort of thing. But I just loved each of the characters so much, and I'm kind of proud, actually, you know, that I was able to channel a male African-American piano player or a Jewish immigrant who's very much like my family, like my father. So in that sense, I found it kind of easy. But the other challenge as a lyricist was that there is so much, like that opening number that you described is a panorama of the country, of the celebrities of the time, of the fictional characters whose lives are going to weave together. And I was the beast of burden of exposition, because a lot of it had to be told, or we wanted a lot of it to be told in song and in music. And so I found that I was setting a lot of exposition to music and telling how, you know, what would happen next, and telling stories. And, you know, there's a song in there called Crime of the Century, which essentially in a very teeny little song tells the whole story of Evelyn Nesbit and Harry K. Thaw
and the trial.
And the trial and everything. And I thought, you know, Schoolhouse Rock is coming in handy.